Hey guys, it's your girl Shonna Etienne, and today we're gonna talk Monique and Netflix. Woo, my lord, my lord, my lord. So I posed a question earlier today on Facebook about Monique and asked people for their thoughts to see what they think. And I was also reading a lot of the comments that people were saying. Some people are not supporting Monique and her request to boycott Netflix. Some people support her, so it's very mixed in the responses. But me, I feel kind of conflicted and confused as to what I feel and think about this whole thing, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first got the information that came across my feed with Monique calling on us as the Black community to boycott Netflix, I started to feel some kind of way. I did find some clips that I wanted to share with you guys with respect to Monique and how I feel like I'm not sure what to think or feel about her request asking us to support her in her boycott of Netflix, because I don't want to feel used. And that's a problem I have with some celebrities or some known people, is that they can conveniently call on us whenever they want to. And then when we start to question what have they done for the Black community and where are they showing up to stand with us, because we know it's powerful when celebrities and other known artists stand with us in our fight against injustices and social inequality and whatever the case is. We know it gets really powerful, but I don't always see them constantly standing up for us. So when people start to go on their plight and they start to make their requests and ask for support from us, I start to sit back and I watch long enough so I can render an opinion or see if I'm going to stand with them and make a big hoopla out of it, because I don't want to be the person that stands with you calling wolf and this is like your MO. But so I'm going to show you guys some things that I want to share with you, and I want you guys to tell me what you think with the whole Monique situation.
It was ringing and the scripts were coming. And when people say, Monique, where have you been? It's not that I haven't been on TV or been in the movies because I've been blackballed, as Mr. Daniels has said. The offers just didn't make sense, Dawn. So again, the phones didn't stop ringing and the scripts didn't stop coming, but the offers that were associated with them were offers that made me say, guys, I can't accept that. Because if I accept that and I won the award, what are my sisters being offered that didn't win the award or wasn't nominated? And what does it say to the little girl who's not here yet? That if we continue to accept these low offers, however do we make it different and make a change?
Okay, I want.
Okay. So in that aspect, I see what she's saying. I see what she's saying when she's saying that I have to turn down some things because I can't keep going for every offer I get, even if it's not worth it or if it doesn't speak to my value. I have to turn it down because it's not just about me. I'm setting an example for the other people that's going to come behind me and those who have been doing this for a long time and they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid, and they're not getting paid nearly as much as white women or white men in this industry. So there comes a time when we have to take a stance and turn down offers. I get that totally. So let's see what else she's been saying, because so far in that area I agree with. So let's see what else.
I want to play this. This was Lee Daniels on this very broadcast last night. Let's listen.
Okay.
We were in the campaign and she was making unreasonable demands. And, and she wasn't thinking, this is when reverse racism, I think, happens. I said, you have to thank the producers of the film. You have to thank the studio. And I think she didn't understand that. And I think that I said, listen, people aren't going to respond well if you don't. So I love her. And I've spoken to her and she's brilliant. And I like working with brilliant people. But sometimes artists get in their own way. I think that there were demands that were made from her on the Precious campaign that everyone knows about that hurt her. And I told her that.
Can she change that?
I mean, if she plays ball, you gotta.
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna leave my comments to myself regarding Lee Daniels. I will keep that in my head because I'm not gonna say anything out loud, but I am gonna say this about Lee Daniels and his statement. He's simply trying to tell her how to play their game in Hollywood. And she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to play that game where she has to feel like she's selling herself out. And at the same time, I do get what he's saying. He's basically saying, We don't run Hollywood. We don't own anything. We're not producing this as in numbers that we should be producing it. And these are the people who are actually giving you your paycheck. They're paying you. So you got to learn how to play their game. You got to learn how to get your money however you need to. And in order for you to get to that status, for what you have to do, you have to play the game long enough. And then eventually you're going to start getting the money that you command. Now, is he wrong for saying that? Is he wrong for trying to bring her into the rope and letting her know the game you have to play? I don't know how I really feel about that. The whole reverse racism comment he made, whatever. I'm going to say whatever to that statement right there, because some things you just have to not say certain things, Lee Daniels. Some things you just got to shut up on, and that was one of them. But nonetheless, what I will say this about Lee Daniels, I'm going to give him his props where props are due. I like the fact that he didn't kick her back in. I like the fact that he was very cautious with his words, and we have to really consider that for a moment, because that plays a very crucial role in this whole industry, especially when you are demanding high pay from people who you're saying is oppressing you. So you gotta understand this industry and the game that you're playing. You're asking for money from your oppressor, and then you want, I don't know. But let's finish the video.
What's your reaction, Monique? You didn't play the game. You had difficult demands.
I want to address it for the order that it went in. And when Mr. Daniels said I had these demands, it shocked me, because I was saying to the screen, Dawn, please ask them what the demands were. And actually, there were no demands. There was a request from the movie studio, and they called and requested that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully declined, because if you can remember, at the time, there was a talk show called The Monique Show. I was doing a comedy tour. I was actually in the award season of the awards, and I'm also a wife, and I'm a mommy. So when they called, I had a couple of days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids.
Okay. So I get her point right there. And I don't knock her for that. Right there, when I heard it, I was saying, okay, yes, you got a point. Your children come first. You do have a show. You are on tour. You are doing things. And sometimes you just got to take care of yourself. So here's where I started to, again, what is this really about? Watch. I'm going to show you guys, because I just think that people need to be consistent on the stuff that they preach. And when they ask us to support them in their crusades, your actions got to back it up. So here's another part here.
So when they called, I had a couple of days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. So when we said we respectfully declined, the movie studio called back again. And they said, okay, well, we'll upgrade her hotel room. And my husband simply said again, we respectfully decline. She's gonna take this time with her family.
Yeah.
Well, when the third call came and they said, what is it gonna take to get Monique to France, to the Cannes Film Festival? And my husband said, is there a number associated with it? And they said, oh, we would never pay for anyone to do any promotions for a movie. And we said we understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining, because I signed up to do it with my friend.
Yeah. But
So
you're saying that's because you didn't have the money to do this on your own. Is that what you're saying? That you needed to feed your family and pay your bill?
I think that's what America says. Yeah. I think we all say, I can't do it for free. Right. So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult. They had a request. We simply had a request. And they said they couldn't do it. And we said we understood. That was it.
She's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. But at the same time, there's certain standards and stuff that we have to go by. You accepted a $50,000 pay. That's what you accepted. You said you were doing it for your friends, so leave it at that. Especially during that time, you weren't as big. You weren't like popping at that time. So that right there puts you like in a different light. And I think that's where the messages started to get kind of skewed when it comes to Monique. But I want to show you what Lee Daniels had had said, which, you know, yeah, I'm gonna show you this. So let's.
Can she change that?
I mean, if she plays ball, you got to play ball. This is not just show. It's show business, and you've got to play ball. And you can't scream. I don't like calling the race card. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it because if I buy into it, then it becomes real. If I knew what I knew when I was 21, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
But some people call that selling out. You know,
selling out. I guess I'm a sellout then. Call it what it is. But I'm not going to not work, and I'm not going to not tell my truth, and I'm not going to call people out on their bull. So whatever that means, sell out. Okay. I'll see you in the theaters.
Hey, listen. If this is your career and you really want to get ahead and you really want to, you have these dreams and aspirations of being validated by them and getting your big rewards and your big awards and getting paid what you feel that you should get paid, if that is your dreams, then you're going about it the wrong way. It is never going to happen for you that way. But my only other thing I have to say about Monique is be consistent. Be consistent. Like, you got to let us know what we're really standing for. Don't be sometimey. If you're going to be like, let's take a stand together, people together, do it all the time. You should always be talking out against the inequity in pay and inequality in the roles. And you should always be talking about it. At every opportunity you get, you should be talking about it. And you should stay true to it at all times. At all times. You should be out there standing with people who are standing against injustices. You should be feeding into Black organizations and businesses that stand against discrimination, racism, injustices. You should be doing that. You should be standing with your Black sisters and brothers, the same people you're asking to support you. You should be supporting us. You should be speaking out all the time. Hell, be a guest on our shows, not just to promote your business, but because you stand with us. I just don't like when people want us to stand with them because it's going to help them financially, and it's going to help them with publicity, and it's going to help them get at the power forces because they're angry at them. This is not a part-time thing. If you want us to stand with you, you got to stand with us. Not sometimes, but all the times. So what do you guys think? Do y'all stand with Monique and her boycott against Netflix, or do you sit back and watch to see what happens? And by the way, Monique, $500,000, that's more than what they was going to offer you to do Richard Pryor's grandmother's role for $300,000. Girl, you get $200,000 more. You moving up. You should have took it. But then again, whatever. See you guys later. Let me know what you think in terms of, should we stand with Monique or should we leave her where she's at?